And welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. We've already had 3 Game 5s today to bring you on broadcast, and we're hoping, with our fingers crossed, that we can bring you one more Game 5. The next game that we've got coming up is PSG eSports versus Class on Grass. Now, I believe this is the final upper bracket game of the day. We've already had one elimination game today. We've had, as I say, 3 Game 5s today. Gentlemen, where do we start with this one?
So, where do you start with this one? Game 5? Might as well.
I mean, obviously. By the way, I'd just like to point out that the coin of truth was correct in the last one. So, now you know. And we didn't just make that up. That's actually true. It was landing on the head. So, let's talk about Class on Grass to start with. Who's on this team and what can we expect?
So, Class on Grass is made out of Cassio and Ronicky. Both of those guys played Rival Series last year. Cassio originally started out on Triple Trouble. He's left. He's replaced Chacaron on Method, which will be Rix Ronde and Burrito B's team this year. So, he'll join them. And Ronicky staying on Triple Trouble. Ronicky was a big offensive force down in that one. Cassio, this is kind of, I see it as his chance to really get his first chance to play against some super high level. This is the top echelon of Rocket League, kind of, you know, the Lion Blaze J-Bot approach of the Universal Open, I think, for him a little bit.
Now let's talk about PSG. Obviously, Paris Saint-Germain eSports, great to see those guys always involved with eSports in general. But so they've had some changes recently in the threes department of things. But, I mean, let's talk about the twos. Who have we got representing them this time?
Yeah, we've got Ferret and Chaussette. Chaussette's been... I mean, it's been very much an up and down year for them. They started off in the highest of highways. They won DreamHack Leipzig in one of the best finals I've seen between them and G2. It's weird. G2 always seem to deliver whenever they're in a final. But Ferret and Chaussette, they didn't have a great RLCS season at all, which was a little bit disappointing because Chaussette was coming off a really good season back in Season 4. Just couldn't step it up in Season 5. But for them, they've had these recent changes, but it's not about that this time around. They've got each other. And we're seeing an awful lot of this where we're seeing the players that weren't changed sort of teaming up together. And this is the big chance for them to really show off, like, yo, this was the good decision. We were the duo that was sort of making the moves. So it's going to be curious to see how they do. Chaussette is, by, like, I believe me, you, and Gibbs all sort of look at him as just... We believe he can be top tier. He just hasn't been that recently.
Yeah, it's always been a little bit sad for me. Chaussette, he's been in every season of the RLCS, actually, now that I think about it. And his first real, you know, starting chance was Season 3. And I was just really sad that he didn't get to perform up to that potential that I thought he could have. So I'm really hoping that this is the turning point for him. And he hasn't performed bad, but I want to see him come out here and crush everybody.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on Chaussette and see what he can pull off in this series. But a reminder to everyone at home, before we get into this game number 1 of our final series of the day, that we've got 2 more broadcasts coming up this week. This is the last week of broadcasts for qualifiers here from London for the Universal Open. So make sure you tune in. Tomorrow is all about that lower bracket. You thought today was exciting.
Nope.
Nope.
High speed.
Today has been... it's been okay. It's been all right. Like it's been fine in comparison to what we're going to see tomorrow. So make sure you're here tomorrow again to catch all the action, because tomorrow is going to be brutal, I think, is the best possible way to put it. I mean, we've already lost Renault Vitality today. They didn't win a game. They're gone. Like, that's how tough the bracket is. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one. But, I mean, what have Class on Grass got to do to take this one here, to raise their game a little bit and maybe dethrone the guys from PSG?
It's kind of an interesting question. I mean, Chaussette originally started out as a really heavy defensively minded player, you know, back on Red Eye. He absolutely locked down the net, and better than, I think, a lot of players at that era when he was on that team. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not they have to break him down on offense or stop him just keeping them out of the net. I think it's all about how do Cassio and Ronicky get past that midfield, especially with Ferret and Chaussette, because, you know, again, they're an RLCS team. They've been around. Yes, they had a bit of a rough go, but they've still played against the top. It's the experience and already used to that higher level of speed that Cassio and Ronicky are going to have to adjust and figure out how to maneuver around.
And would you agree with that, Shogun? Because we were mentioning before, we were saying just in the break there, do you think we're going to see another Game 5 here? And you weren't so confident. You think that
I'm not.
We're not going to see a Game 5 here?
I feel like, especially Chaussette, unless Class on Grass can actually find a way of preventing Chaussette time on the ball, because as soon as he's got that ball under his own control, he's going to do absolutely destructive things to that defense. So they've got to try and find a way of keeping him off for as long as possible. If not, Chaussette is going to rip and tear through a defense, and Ferret, he's a class finisher when he gets opportunities. He's just not had many of them recently, but he knows how to shoot the ball. He knows how to find the back of the net.
Okay, well, a reminder to everyone at home as well for the last time. Firstly, tweet the stream. Let's get as many people in here as we can for the final series of the day. And, of course, use that hashtag UOS2 as well to give us your predictions. Now, talking of predictions, gentlemen, you thought I'd forgotten about it. Don't worry about it. I haven't. Give us your predictions for this series.
I like PSG.
PSG. Okay, why?
Because, I value experience a lot. Overall, I think they're just... You know, there's a reason they're in the championship series. And Triple Trouble, it's a good team, but still need a bit of time to develop into that top caliber team.
Are you going with PSG as well, Shogun?
Yeah, I'm going to go PSG. 4 games. I think Class on Grass can probably take one, but I just feel like there's a little bit more in the offensive arsenal of PSG.
Exactly.
They know a couple more tricks, and they also know how to not break defense. We've already seen they played in that, quite frankly, incredible Season 4 matchup against Cloud9 where we saw them save after save after save. It's going to be hard to break them down.
Okay, well, the teams are getting ready to play at the moment. We're going to get into our game number 1 now. Our final game of the day is going to be Class on Grass taking on PSG eSports.
So we're going to be starting us off here. Chalset trying to take the ball up into the air, but instead he does get challenged, and Farah keep that one going. Cassio got his backboard. He's just going to try and keep this one going. Just tap that one down. Not really too much done, though. Might be able to steal the boost. He didn't quite, but he did get a bump. Class on Grass, just trying to be a nuisance, and that's going to be on target. One demo is all it took to open them up.
So it's a pretty good start here for Cassio and Roniki. They just catch them out a little bit too far. A lot of faith in PSG getting that clear out of that corner. Farah just caught too far forward.
Eventually taken out of the play. 30 seconds down. 1-0 to Class on Grass. Gonna go long. Farah for the double tap. Almost managed to find it, but Roniki will take it away. And that is a big clear. Chalset be watching it as Roniki was trying to chase forwards. These challenges have been big so far from Class on Grass. Haven't lost one just yet. Now to the corner. Roniki forced to watch. It's quite an awkward bounce. You can see his escape routes are slowly being covered. Big challenge win from Farah. That's going to be played to the far side as Cassio defends his net, but he's not got hold of the boost. Relying now on Roniki, who's on 0 boost himself to keep this going. Chalset's got time. And there's Farah. Another save for him. Chalset trying to take away. Roniki goes for target, and there's Farah immediately there. Cassio with the follow-up, try to be a little bit cheeky and just take it above the defending player. Now trying to get to the backboard. Still 1-0. Class on Grass holding their lines very well. That's one player down. Cassio almost managed to take it over the way up to the top, but Farah does win the challenge. And PSG, they've been on the offensive side for a while now, but they didn't create any opportunities for themselves.
Yeah, kind of surprising to see them not be as effective as I initially thought they were going to be. But, you know, there's still 3 minutes on the clock here. And I think, rare miss from Chalset and Farah both, but Cassio and Roniki, like you said, they've held their lines quite well. Midfield's been fairly solid. It's just been a matter of can they hang on to it.
Roniki clears. Back down, Chalset forced the challenge. And now he's going to look to try and keep this one going, but once again, it's another challenge victory. Class on Grass. I think they can get caught. If they do lose any of these, but so far they haven't lost any at all. Chalset levers one in the top corner, and Cassio required for a save.
Maybe a little bit of a rush from Chalset, but a great clear from Cassio going back down to the same corner. And Roniki, Cassio being put through the ringer. A lot of passes. I think the biggest problem right now for Chalset and Farah is the shots are just from too far away. You bring them forward a couple yards, and I think they're in the back of the net.
Just too much time to respond for Class on Grass. Cleared from Farah. Cassio not in position to keep that one in the orange side of the field. Chalset will just be watching this one come down as Cassio did run out of boost.
Oh, bad touch.
Not going to help out that first touch. Farah just pushes the ball back over. Wants to try and challenge, but instead Roniki back out to Cassio. Cassio looking for Roniki yet again. Not the best of balls, and that's opened up some space for Chalset. PSG. Just seems like they're on the verge of something right now.
Problem is, it feels like it's coming off the back of Casio and Ronicky not having the cleanest transitions from offense to defense. I think if Casio and Ronicky start getting cleaner first touches on the ball and remaining in possession, a lot
fewer. That's going to do it. Straight in, Farah finds the infield pass, and finally, a goal will go in for PSG.
And just a great bounce there out of the corner. Casio tried to go out and get it, just unfortunately couldn't read it fast enough, had to react to that roller, and it was just closer to Chaussette.
1 goal each. Just over a minute left. Chaussette will take control of the ball and the boost. A double whammy for him. There's going to be the follow-up and another big move. Ronicky's got the ball.
Oh my
goodness. Will turn it in. Hugely risky challenge, but it worked out.
Why not? I mean, you know, young and unafraid, go for it. And Ronicky comes up huge. There's nothing left to say. Farah tries to make a play to keep him on offense. Chaussette hasn't had time to recover, and, you know, go big or go home.
Well, that lead is now back on the side. It might get even bigger.
Oh, no.
Just about missed out Chaussette. He's got the whole goal to aim at. And now we're at 2 each.
And this is all on Farah, how he recovers. Ronicky just doesn't have the boost to close the gap fast enough. And Casio and Ronicky, you know, another kickoff goal on the day. I think we're easily past 10 at this point, considering how many games we've seen. And it's amazing how controllable kickoffs are.
Oh, well, we talked about how controllable kickoffs are. Sometimes you've got to be able to control the ball as well, because this is not the way that you would want to lose this game.
You know, Ronicky, if it's any consolation, I've put in own goals that would look a lot worse than that, my friend. It's okay.
Fortunately for you, Achieves, or fortunately in some ways, they haven't been worth $100,000, and now PSG eSports finding their groove in game number 1.
Now, at least, if you lose, you can say, okay, that was a good one. Nice little backflip there from Chaussette. A clean first touch, doesn't let it bounce really, sticks right to the top of his car, and just the immediate pop up and back. Brilliant shot.
Got to shake this one off. Farah all the way back to his own side of the field. Glass and Grass were just well, not necessarily in control, but they were in the lead for so long this game, and to have it break down like this.
Final minute, too. Really, all of them came at the sub-minute mark for Chaussette and Farah.
Over the top. Chaussette almost caught out. It's going to be going to the side. Man. That's on target. Farah with a hat trick. And this has been very experienced gameplay from PSG.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, you know. They spent the entirety of the game trying to break down and whittle away at this Casio and Ronicky wall in the midfield, and finally they started making little mistakes here and there, and they were able to pick them apart. Took the next kickoff and ran with it. And after that, you see the wheel break a little bit from Casio and Ronicky, and that was it.
Well, it was a good start for them, but game 2 will need to be just that tiny little bit more as PSG eSports take game number 1.
So our favourites take game number 1 in that series. I mean, we can say favourites. I mean, we don't know what to predict anymore. But it was a close game up until that unfortunate touch that led to the goal that sort of gave PSG the lead. But it just seemed to give them a lot of confidence, PSG, from that point. And on the other side of things, Class and Grass seemed to sort of capitulate towards the end a little bit. And
the bigger problem outside of those couple mistakes at the end is really just the inability to transition out of the midfield. It's kind of what we talked about before the series even began. You've got to be able to get it past Farah and Chaussette and get your chances over on the offensive side. Now, you look at this scoreline and you say, oh, okay, there were 7 shots on PSG and 6 shots for Class on Grass. It must have been a close game, but not really. It was all Farah and Chaussette just sitting on this blue half for the final, you know, 3 minutes of that game.
Yeah, if you're Class on Grass, you know you were doing well. Those challenges and that positioning was very good from them for 4 minutes of that game. But then they suddenly had that goal go against them. They had to try chasing the game for the very first time, and didn't seem to be available for them. So it might potentially be a weakness. But if you're Class on Grass, you don't want to find yourself behind again.
Yeah, they can't just lose this next one to put themselves on 3 potential match points, to be up against 3 potential match points. But I heard you were talking about experienced gameplay in that one, Shogun, from PSG. Just break that down a little bit more for maybe some of the viewers who are watching for the first time and don't know too much about some of these teams and exactly what they were doing there that was so impressive.
So for a lot of teams, they'll go in and sort of have a main gameplay style that they want to go for. Not necessarily a plan, but just sort of, if you put a team in a situation, they will play it in this particular way. Either creatively go for a couple of passing plays, but experienced teams, once they go down by a goal, maybe 2, as we head towards the latter end of games, they'll keep playing it that way because they know, hey, if this is the strategy we're going to start the game, why would we change it at any point? We know this should probably work. We just need to keep going for it and maybe make little tweaks. For less experienced teams, though, they don't do that. It sort of gets to the point where, oh no, we're 2 goals down. We need to go faster and faster and faster. They try to create too many opportunities compared to a couple of really good opportunities for themselves.
Okay, well, let's look ahead to our next game, Game 2 of the series achieves. Class on Grass, they had a fair amount of success in the first couple of minutes of that game by putting the pressure onto PSG and trying to win those midfield battles. Would you suggest, just trying to keep that up, or is it just a case of, they have to see it through for the 5 minutes, not just the 4 minutes?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the case for every game. You got to see it through the whole game to come out on top. And the biggest thing is always, I say, it's your clear game. You have 2 options, really. You clear the ball long. Hopefully you can chase it down after that. And if you can't, then, okay, well, at least you've bought time to get boost, or you try and take it down on a dribble. And, I'm thinking back to the entirety of the rival series with both of these players, and I don't think either of those teams were really big fans of dribbles, and I think that definitely works against them in the 2v2 arena, mostly because 2v2 is where you get your chance to show your stuff. That is the dribble arena if it's not the 1v1, obviously, and it's just, already know Chaussette and Farah, both capable in that department. They'll make you miss. And, you're just not sure if Cassio and Ronicky have developed that make the first man miss instinct yet. And it's too much get that ball away. And they're going to be fighting against that positioning and timing that's so already developed on that PSG squad. So they're going to have to work on the clear game.
Okay, then. Well, game number 2 is ready to go. Let's get straight into this one. PSG are up by 1, looking to double this lead and put themselves on match point.
Once again, PSG, they lose the kickoff, but immediately able to take control of the ball for themselves. Glass on Grass. Gonna need a little bit more in game number 2. Farah, straight back down. It would have been great if it was a freeze play. And this time it's going to transition. A little bit of magic there.
A weak touch from Farah, away from Chaussette. It's a free ball. And Cassio and Ronicky say, all right, sure, we can't dribble, but watch this. We know how to pass the ball. It's perfect. That's a great 1-2 up the field and in.
So, first goal within 20 seconds. Boost pickup from Glass on Grass. Now Chaussette will be chasing this one down. Farah just tries to loft it over the top, but it will be Ronicky around. Looking to follow it up, but it is going to be Glass on Grass taking control of the ball. Ronicky again taking it to the air. Now Chaussette, he's got control of the ball, now he's got a little bit of boost, but no commitment coming out. And now that 0 boost is going to be required to do a lot more than it actually can.
But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ronicky had, 3/4 of the pitch in front of him. He did not have to blast that ball upfield and go right back into the neutral game. It's just Ronicky and Cassio have to develop that sense of looking ahead and saying, look, I've got space to work with. I need to use it.
Seems like both of these teams sort of struggling a little bit when it comes to pretty much first contact. A lot of them very heavy, a lot of them very open to be followed. Although that is the danger when you let Chaussette take the ball under control.
Oh, what
Drop
a touch.
down, Cassio is there!
Wow.
Very similar to what we saw from
Another one?
Magnus and Metzenaris earlier on, but now that 2v1. Taken away as Ronicky sees the 2 and just barrels straight through the middle.
Yeah, that was actually brilliant timing from Ronicky. Saw Farah take that super wide cut to the outside and said, all right, you're giving me an opening to challenge the ball, and he jumped on it immediately. Good instinct.
Big clear again. Ronicky wants to hit the backboard and just see if he can open up some space, and he almost got it.
The crazy
PSG should not be giving those over.
Exactly. The crazy thing is that almost worked. They had all the time in the world to make that save. Chaussette and Farah got to clean that up.
So I almost don't want to say that might actually be a good thing for PSG, though, because that will give Class on Grass an idea that maybe that will work more often. And it's something that they've gone to a little bit too often so far.
The super reverse psychology.
Hey, I'm just saying. Let it work just a tiny bit, so that way you go for the slightly less creative and slightly easier to read play.
Ooh, Ronicky. Lucky that one's not on.
Back out. Chaussette tries to go underneath, but Ronicky once again just in the way.
And Ronicky played in the play last night, I believe, right, Sugar?
He played very well in the play. It just like the first 2 games we saw them in, very good. And then they just slowly started to drift off the pace. Leaf going out to Savage, who was Bluey, Jesse,
Devo?
Devo. So not exactly a bad team to be going out to, but they felt like they could have done better. Cassio over the top of Farah. We shall set to take control of now. It's that 1 minute 50 zone infield pass attempt.
And again, Farah and Chaussette, they've got the space to make the passing plays work. It's just the shots coming from half the field away. And
2 goals to nothing. The brace picked up from Ronicky. He's only had 2 shots all game.
this is twice in a row, actually. It's been an awkward touch from one of the PSG guys away from the opposition. And Cassio and Ronicky immediately jump on it. They say, look, we have a free ball here, and instead of it starting on their own half, it starts in the midfield, and they're able to convert it.
So now, Class on Grass, they would consider this a huge disappointment if they were to drop this game, and why would they ever think they could at this point?
Wow.
Another goal, this time from Cassio. And it's just a simple flick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought that was just a regular forward flip flick. That's actually really good.
It's the jump side flick, hit it with the corner of the car and get it to that near post.
I didn't see that from the distance I was. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Neither did I. I needed a second look too, Shogun.
That is the... I don't know. I don't feel like that flick should be as difficult to learn as it is.
Right?
I've been trying it recently. That first ball touch that you get to go for has got to be just near perfect. Otherwise, it goes away from you and almost went in.
And it has to stick to your car, too. If it bounces off, it's useless.
As a man who has gone for the strategy of hit the ball very hard,
it makes
hit
it
the
very
ball very
difficult.
subtly is not something I'm used to.
Oh, here's a chance for PSG. Maybe to just get something here in the final couple of minutes. See if they can stay on offense here for a bit.
Chaussette going to be forced to play all the way back. I'm surprised Cassio didn't try and take him out. That's back out to Ronicky.
Oh,
and
man.
That's game 2 secured.
You know, the crazy thing is, I think you and I would both agree that Class on Grass played the inferior strategy this game. It was just sometimes Fair and Chaussette made a small mistake, and it was a couple of weak touches. And, you know, Cassio and Ronicky, caution to the winds, pushed up field, turned it into a goal, and Fair and Chaussette just haven't been able to break them down, really.
Yeah, you can see PSG's off-ball player often in a position to try and capitalize on any sort of defensive win or any sort of transition, which is pretty much what you've got to be doing when you go 2 goals down. But at the same time, any sort of mistake, you can't help them out anymore. You're just not in position to do that. That's what's happened here. Class on Grass always been the second player to reach the ball. Farah just trying to give something over to his team.
Oh, tough one.
But again, it's just all Class on Grass, and PSG, this will not feel good for them. Effectively going to be a best of 3 now.
Cassio with that little wave dash land ground pinch to himself to end the game, but they do win game 2, and I don't know
handily.
I don't know how they won game 2, but they did.
Yeah, it seemed like all of the clear-cut opportunities that happened to present themselves just happened to present themselves to Class on Grass, and
Yeah.
you have to give them credit. Not only did they appear in front of them, they most importantly converted them and turned them into goals. I mean, I think 4-0 is a little bit of a maybe a unjust result on the side of PSG because they were, you know, creating some opportunities themselves, but they didn't take the opportunities, and you have to give the credit Class on Grass.
Yeah, might have just ran away from him a little bit, trying to get too much going, and a couple of good saves over on Class on Grass, to be fair. Credit where it's due. They did stop some of the chances from Farah and Chaussette, but again, it all started with a couple of weak touches, I think, from Chaussette and Farah. 2 touches just away from the opposition, giving away a free chance before they're really ready to get set on defense. And like you said, the important thing was they turned it on, and you know, Cassio's pulling out flicks like that every so now and again, and you know, they deserve to win this game too.
And here's the real question, and it almost feels bad to ask aloud, but are the team plays really working for PSG? They're being cut out way more often than they're getting any sort of success. I mean, we saw one during that replay package that they tried to go for, and it's being immediately red. I feel like it's a world that they're going to... like, the opportunity has been and gone for that to be successful. And now it's just too obvious. We were talking before we came into this about a huge arsenal of ways that PSG could potentially create opportunities. I'm not seeing it right now. It's very cookie cutter.
Agreed.
Okay, well, they need to obviously change things up in our game number 3. Surprisingly, we're tied up in a series here on day 1 of the European closed qualifiers. What else would you expect? But we said there wouldn't be a game 5. However, with a performance like that from Class on Grass and taking that game, there's always that opportunity on the horizon. But I'd still feel like PSG have had the advantage as far as controlling things. Maybe, Shogun, you're right. You know, they need to change up their offensive techniques a little bit.
I mean, they're getting
a little bit more unpredictable.
They're getting the space for it. Class on Grass, I've been happy to sit back so far. It is now all down to PSG thinking about something new that can really open up. Steal some boost. Please start stealing some boost.
I don't know if they're playing aggressively enough to steal the boost. It's that off-ball player. It's a very passive offensive approach for PSG, and I don't know. I think we might have to see a little bit of the dribble come out from Fair. You know, Fair's already got one hype dribble play under his belt. Chaussette, I think, is capable of the same thing, and I don't know. It might take some individual wizardry. I think PSG is a team that thrives on they need one person to go off in one game.
Let's see if one player can go off then. Game number 3. Who's going to take the lead in the series? Let's find out.
Every single game so far, Class on Grass have been taking the first goal. Taking it relatively early as well. The rest of it has just been PSG trying to find a way back. Is there going to be a different story this time? Farah powers that ball into the net.
Yeah, an absolute ripper of a shot from Farah. This one out of the midfield line. And finally, Ronicky caught pushing up at the top of the box for just a moment. Said, yeah, I can go get that. Said, never mind, no, I can't. And by then it was too late. Perfect placement from Farah to the right-hand side.
It wasn't anything too different from PSG, just this time a player was out of position. Now Ronicky follows it up, and that lead
they get it right
simply didn't last.
And they get it right back. Off the kickoff, Cassio fires a weak one. Chaussette, it's a tough play to get all the way out into the corner. You'd almost like to see him try and catch it, but at the same time, you know, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You try and catch it, they're going to be right on top of you. You're going to be under pressure with no boost. It's trying to make the best of a bad situation. And again, Ronicky and Cassio convert it.
Now boost pickup from Cassio. More challenges coming out from PSG. They're happy to now start engaging in the midfield. Oh, seems like Class on Grass are also willing to do so, and that is an absolute boomer.
2 in a row now for Farah. Takes his time out of the corner, and Ronicky and Cassio were like just paralyzed in the net. Like, what do we do? It's rolling around our corner.
This is what happens when he's not blocked.
You ever been hypnotized by a player, Shogun?
I'm learning how to do that very quickly. It's usually when K-Dop's on top form.
If there's anyone who's like that, absolutely him.
Off
Another
the backboard, almost there. Ronicky goes long. We've got to say, actually, Violent Panda, if you ever will get a chance to just watch on his POV.
A lot of fun.
It's like perfect decision city.
Exactly. I think we all kind of like to say Violent Panda's that support player for Dignitas, and I actually think it's Turbo Pulsa. Because Violent Panda and K-Dop just drive around the pitch and make everything happen. Turbo's like, I'll be wherever you're not, I guess.
Now along, Farah and PSG have got the lead.
Oh, what a pass.
That's something like this. They've really stretched it out, and they look to be doing it again. Farah has net a hat trick.
Yeah, see, now we're starting to see these chances from PSG. It's the same thing. It's infield pass plays, you know, coming out of the side of the field up to the top of the box. It's just not happening from the middle of the field where Ronicky and Cassio have time to react. The exact same strategy, a few yards forward, and they're having to think a lot quicker to try and make these stops, and they just can't get there.
Seems like they've just found that happy medium. Not too far out and not close enough for a block to come out from Class on Grass. And suddenly, PSG have found a winning formula.
Bag of tricks. Same thing, but closer.
Same thing, but better. Hey, at least they're well practiced at this point.
Oh, nice tackle from Chaussette. One-on-one.
Gonna go over the top, can't get it in.
Finish.
And it's just not gonna ever really bounce into a zone that could be followed up.
Oh,
But
Ronicky dropped it.
PSG recovered so quickly. It just looked like at one moment they were all either in the net or above the goal, and suddenly they were all back behind their own defensive line.
That was a beautiful adjustment by Farah midair. Realized he was beat to the ball, shortened up on his challenge angle, went down to cut it off, and that was a huge stop in the midfield to stop Class on Grass from getting back in this one.
Cassio will be tasked with trying to beat Chaussette. Now he almost got it past Farah. Under half the game left to play. 2 goals to the better as PSG, and this is not going to help out. Cassio's going to go all the way back to his own net. And suddenly Chaussette coming out of nowhere, but that could be over the top. Farah's not going to get there in time.
Man.
It is a 1-goal game.
That is just bombed away. Certainly no intention of a shot. It's just Cassio's ready to push upfield and says, oh, I can hit this, and squares it up, puts it right on target. Farah caught moving forward, expecting Chaussette to win the challenge and get ready for a play in front of the blue net, and he gets caught off guard.
So now we're dropped down to a 1-goal lead. Chaussette trying to take it under his own control. It goes infield, but Farah was trying to shadow him. Maybe difference of ideas. One was thinking pass, the other one was thinking challenge.
Demo, okay.
There's Chaussette with the follow, and a couple of steps ahead. PSG have got another cushion.
Perfect play here from Farah. Gives up on the ball, knows he has no chance at it. Chaussette is just waiting for this touch from Cassio, because Cassio's thinking, I don't have a really good touch here. I'm going to need some help from my teammate, and he's dead. This is bad.
PSG comfortable yet again. All up to their opponents to see if not there is another way of trying to bust through this defense. It's past one, but Chaussette very comfortable, maybe even a little bit too comfortable. Ronicky was happy just to charge forward, but instead that will just be he's committed. Farah might actually have a target man, but instead Chaussette's already on his way back. That's an awkward bounce as well.
A great touch, though, from Cassio. A nasty hop, but it bought him time to reset themselves on defense.
Class on Grass seem to be just bombing the ball forward and seeing whether or not they can get something to happen from a challenge. It's pretty much strategy A when it comes to Rocket League. Farah happy to wait. Class on Grass, they've got to try and take this under control because they are just giving away possession to PSG every single time. Ronicky can't get it out to Cassio. Chaussette already around. Farah can be there for yet another goal. And he's going to nab it. 4 goals to him. He's not done anything too flashy. He's just hitting it very well.
He's hitting it very well is absolutely right. Ronicky, the only reason he can't stop this ball is because he just came off a challenge in the air. He has no boost in the tank. He's trying to get back. He's got to respect the primary option, which is the shot to the far post. And that's actually twice in this game that Farah has picked behind the defender, and it's worked out both times.
Yeah, Farah just seems to have been unleashed. We were talking previously about how passive the offense of PSG eSports was. Now he's out hunting for demos, hunting for the opportunity to half rotate and take a shot. That's goal number 5.
Cruising.
Farah has had a huge game 3.
A huge game 3 is an understatement. It's a just domination game for PSG. 12 shots to 5, 4 assists for Chaussette, 5 goals for Farah. It's been a bit more of a walk in the park.
This game very much has been the way that you would describe PSG eSports to most people.
Yeah.
Chaussette moves the ball, Farah finishes it, and now there might be a role reversal.
Or
Farah
is it?
Got the follow. See, he hits those, and I see it a bit high, but I also trust that Farah might have hit the target, so I thought the goal was bigger than it was. That will be dropping down to the floor. Match point to PSG eSports.
Match point indeed. A much more dominating performance. It felt like everything they've been trying kind of came together in that game number 3 there, and things started working for them. And they're going to be feeling good going into that game number 4 because now all the pressure is removed from them and put back onto Class on Grass, who now have to answer back. However, just to remind you, it's now 2-1 in the series, and there is still a very, very good chance of us seeing a game number 5. Shogun's got a smile on his face because he knows that that's going to happen as well. But this was probably everything that PSG wanted to happen happen in this game.
Yeah, exactly. The strategy they've been employing in games 1 and 2 actually came to fruition. The offense got a little bit more coordinated in the midfield. They had a little bit more boost to work with, some more space to work with as well. Ronicky and Casio weren't able to really get set on defense in good positions, missed a couple of great touches, had trouble keeping things close. Again, it's like that Jenga tower of things just not going perfectly in your way that stacked up for Class on Grass, and PSG every time just tipped it over.
And you just got to be looking towards Farah now and just saying any space, a tiny bit of boost, and that ball rolling towards him very likely could be a goal. But it's something I've actually seen quite a few times during the North American qualifiers and sort of towards maybe the less experienced teams. We saw teams very much trying to change what they were doing throughout the series. But this week for the European teams, it's more or less a case of either make very small, minute tweaks or stick with the same thing, just do it better.
I love that attitude, though. It's like,
yeah,
we know what we want to do, and the reason that we haven't won is because we haven't been doing it well enough. I love that, to be honest with you. I think that's great. It's like, yeah, strategy's not the problem, it's the execution.
I mean, you've been playing the game now for 4, 5, 6,000 hours.
Yeah.
You haven't learned something incredible over the last hour of you playing. Stick to what you've been doing.
Someone's just gone. The light bulb moment's gone on.
I have learned how to flip reset.
27-0. It's just like, it's gone on. We've just reinvented Rocket League. But anyway, let's talk about this game number 4, because I do feel like that last game really, that was a big one for PSG. I feel like it might have taken the wind out of Class on Grass here. We talk about how first goals can be important in games. I really feel for Class on Grass to have a chance of sending this to the game 5, they really need to take the lead earlier in this one.
Well, they tried. They got back into it really soon. The problem is Farah and Chaussette kind of went off at the 4-minute mark in this game.
I'll get that for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I was trying not to just break out, but you know, he's gonna sell me out, and he's totally justified. But again, still the same problem for Class on Grass. A lot of long clears, a lot of giving away possession. Gotta hang on to that ball. Gotta be willing to take those challenges in front of your own net, in your own box, and you know, you don't have to win them. All you have to do is get them out into safety, and I think that might help them a little bit, because bombing that ball away, giving PSG possession, definitely not the way to go for this game number 3.
Shogun, very quickly, predictions for this game. Do you think this is going to be the end of the series, the end of the road here for Class on Grass?
I think this could be. We started off with...
Not the end of the road, the end of the higher road.
We almost started with like almost sort of a dull sort of series where it was very much just get rid of the ball. But now that PSG are taking it and starting to be much more mechanical, it requires Class on Grass to do the exact same thing. Now, once we hit that stage, I just don't think they can keep up.
Okay, then. Well, we are set up for our game number 4. We want to get straight into this one, so let's do exactly that. It's guys from PSG just one game away from closing out the series 3-1 in what is our final series of the day.
What a day it has been. I'm very excited for at the very end of the day to find out the total goals scored. Achieves, I don't want you going to the notepad. I want to wait for that. Okay, I want a big old reveal. Chaussette and Farah both sat on the goal line. Ronicky over the top, and he finds the right-hand corner. I don't think the shot had to be that good, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, just Chaussette. Again, not the best touch. Probably would have been better off letting that one go, but to be fair, he's a little bit too focused on making that touch, not fully aware of Farah rotating in behind him, having a better touch. Also worried about Casio coming in and stealing it off of him. Again, PSG trying to make the most of a bad situation, and that's been the most of the reason that Ronicky and Casio have found the back of the net.
Oh, that's very good play from Chaussette. You saw him pick up this ball, and it was like, okay, I don't really want it, though. I want to go and do this. Multitasking from the Frenchman.
Brilliant setup. That's all I have to say. It just was.
Sometimes it just doesn't have to be too much more. It's just what it needed to be. Now Chaussette. Ceiling reset. Now we're going back to Ronicky, who might have hit it a bit too hard, but instead he's won the challenge. Open net to go for it. Casio wins the race against Chaussette.
He was close. Chaussette didn't have any boost to work with in that midfield. Was very sad to not get there. Ronicky, a huge challenge out of the midfield, and look at Casio right behind him. Didn't even care if he ended up losing that challenge. They're willing to send the house just to get an advantage here in Game 4.
Onset looked at me and he said, Game 5.
He's feeling it.
The way today's been going,
I believe it.
Absolutely. Chaussette to early turn from him. Looks to go to the corner, and Casio, he might take this challenge. Instead chose the back off, which was the better decision to make.
Wow.
Ronaky might
Poor
have just
clear.
set up Charset,
Oh!
who needed to hit it better, but instead it's going to be Farah. He's got the goal to aim at.
Oh,
and he's
what?
just trying to be a little bit too smart.
0 for 2. Shocking.
This is a terrible game for Farah.
Charset missed the first one, to be fair.
Yeah, but Farah should never miss any shots.
I agree. Especially not that one. Either way, pass across. Oh, Demo!
That was big. No follow-up opportunity. I don't think there's going to be too much there. Now Charset pushes off his own backboard. Farah will be around and just tries to power the ball off the backboard. Will still boost. Charset can get a midfield challenge. This might offer up some opportunities. It's a very lackluster move forward, though, from PSG.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy time to grab some boost here. Ronaky wisely stealing away that corner. Try and limit the options of PSG here. 2-on-1 over the top and into the middle of the net. A brilliant flick from Cassio. They're 2 up.
3 goals to 1. Class on grass. Might be sending
Onset's
us.
windmilling. He's ready to go.
We have never, in any of these weeks, had a day where all 4 of the games went to Game 5. We are a single game away from managing that feat. Unless PSG have got one thing to say about it. Ronaky. Oh,
Nope.
My goodness. Ronaky with a disgusting play.
Oh, man, and he just makes Farah watch. Off the wheels, and he side flips it. Oh, it's a beautiful shot from Ronaky. Not the most power, but the placement, powerful.
He just belly flopped that into the net. Now a 3-goal lead.
He wants another.
I questioned whether or not Class on Grass could step it up when the pressure was really on. They can step it up when the pressure is really on, but that is a huge demo play, and that is 1 goal brought back.
That's the halfway point. There's been 6 goals.
All right, so you know how earlier on I said I didn't want to know what the goal total was? I know for a fact it's over 107.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But how far above 107?
Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking 200.
Not quite.
And 99.
Wow. Another
You
one.
doubt me at this point? I don't doubt PSG can make this comeback.
They're right back in it, too. A kickoff, Ronaky went for the boost, and just, oh, man, just left in the one-on-one. Tried to close the gap. Don't really blame him, you know? You pick your battles, and Ronaky felt a little bit comfortable trying to close the angle down rather than just let Charset dribble the ball.
I can guarantee you at this point, Ronaky feels anything but comfortable. However, he should feel proud about getting awarded the Dual Force Achievement Unlock.
Hey.
And he's going to get an opportunity to try and shoot.
Wow.
2-goal lead reestablished.
Okay. Okay. Shogun, I'm running out of room on my piece of paper here, and I don't want to have to go on to the next page for Game 5. What do I do?
Write smaller. I know the idea of not using the lines for you is a little bit insane, but I think you can do it, Chiefs.
I think we've had a Dual Force player every single series so far today.
Our best was 2 previously. We've had 1 every single series.
Oh, did they get 1 here? Cassio gave the ball up.
Charset goes early. Want to see if he can try and catch Cassio out. 8 goals scored. Still plenty of time for more.
What a pass.
Infield, Farah, he's got the opportunity.
Again behind him.
What a play from PSG.
Again behind him. It's the same thing. They've got the pass lined up. Ronaky has to land. Cassio knows he has to defend the net. Infield pass. A little bit closer. Farah shoots it behind the defender. It's the greatest formula ever.
PSG with an eye fully dramatic at this point. 1 goal away from tying us up. Class on Grass, they've scored 5. In their own minds, they should be home dry at this point. Ronaky, huge challenge attempted. Wants to go across the middle on Cassio. There's no chance he was ever going to go for that one. Across the goal line yet again, Cassio. Happy with how plain that was to try and deal with. Ronaky keeping it low. Every play, every challenge is a huge risk.
What a read from Cassio. Perfect
like
read off the
this.
first touch.
Class on Grass are keeping this as a full court game. They are not retreating. They recognize that PSG have been setting up those infield plays to near perfection. It is all about avoiding them. Casio goes around the world. Challenge, Ferrer. Passing that one straight to Ronicki. He was a bit loose, and he's won the challenge yet again. Ferrer back under his control. 35 seconds left on the clock.
They got another
Ferrer,
one lined up.
he's got Chaussette around, goes by himself. He tried to mix it up, but he went too central. You've got to have a little bit of angle. Long again. Glass on grass have just got to hold on for a little while longer. Casio is out. Big challenge from Chaussette. Ferrer can't get there, low on boost.
15.
That's a poor clearance, and Ronicki will bail Casio out. Heart in mouth moment, but this will be on target. That is game 4 secured.
Hey, let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. Hang on. You know, I'm not going to deny Onset his customary exclamation.
I can see he's charging it.
He's winding it up, baby. But he'll have to wait a couple of seconds here. What a game from Ronicki and Casio. I mean, they, like you said, that last minute was a thing of beauty from them. Keeping it at a full court game, pressuring Chaussette and Ferrer, saying, look, you want to score? You're going to have to beat both of us on your own half and go the length of the pitch. And they didn't let it happen. Onset.
Go.
We got a game 5, baby! Let's go! That's 4 series today, 4 game 5s. We knew this week was going to be exciting, and it is. It's as simple as that. Class on grass take our game number 4. We'll have another game 5, and you know what that means, gentlemen. After the replays, the coin of truth returns.
The coin
of truth returns. There was like 10 goals in this game. I'm not too sure how. This was like 5 games in 1.
This was
we just saw
a lot. And a lot of things right for both teams, couple things wrong for both teams. Those couple of missed opportunities right there are going to be haunting PSG.
I don't know. I don't know, man. This is just fantastic viewing, honestly.
It's been a good day 1, to say the least.
It's been a great day 1, and this is now all down to just who can play better. Remove all of your ideas of strategy, remove all of this infield passing play. This is now just 2 teams playing each situation they get into to the best of their abilities and hoping, beyond hope, that they can take the win. Onset, I'm going to take off the jacket here.
It's
too hot.
It's a little
too
warm.
hot. This is too much now.
It's usually warm in the studio here in London because London, for some reason, has become the tropical island or something in the last few weeks. But yeah, it's pretty warm, especially after the series we've seen today. But is it time? Should we do it? I mean, usually I ask you to kind of break down, you know, what we can expect in the next game, but there's no point anymore. There's no point. Europe is as unpredictable as it possibly can get. So what are we going? Heads, class and grass, tails, PSG. Sure. Okay.
The coin of truth.
Do you want to say it aloud this time?
Shall I say it aloud? Okay.
We'll say it aloud.
According to the coin of truth, class on grass are taking it.
Okay, coin. He hasn't.
Coin. And I'd like to point out the coin has yet to be wrong. So, I mean, okay. Scary moments now.
PSG.
I mean, we haven't had an upset today, so, you know, I mean, we say we haven't had an upset. We've just had Vitality knocked out of the competition earlier on today. So what am I talking about? But, I mean, the players are loading into the lobby, gentlemen. I mean, Shogun, who do you think it's going to go with? That would do.
Yeah.
Teams?
Good.
The coin has been wrong every time for me, so I say PSG.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Game 5. What better way to end the day? Class on grass versus PSG.
There's a goal.
Who's going to close it out? Chaussette with the first goal of the game.
Okay, cool. Let's just settle into game 5, you know. Really find our footing. Make sure that we're not going to make any mistakes.
No, 2 seconds. Goal.
Yeah, go now. Cool. Well, at least
What
we're
a
continuing
start.
from where we left off in the last game. PSG eSports. Class on grass. One of these teams is heading through to Thursday. The other one has got to go through the blender. That is tomorrow's lower bracket.
I do not envy them. I don't envy either team, you know, even if they win.
So much work left to do. Ronicki and Casio, the underdogs heading into this game, looking to pull off a major upset. could their very first ever major LAN appearance be at the Universal Open Season 2 Grand Finals to represent Europe. First thing they've got to do is find some way of getting this goal back. Infield pass, and it's been read. Glass on grass, they're
onto it.
Yeah, they are going to just maul that every single time they see it. But the question is, you can see it or you want to. Whether or not you're actually in a position to do anything about it is something completely different.
Wow.
Rocky right down and needed to be a little bit better.
Boy, did Chaussette set that one up on a platter. Cassio loses the challenge, though. It's a race back the other way. Roniki diving out of the midfield. A good stop. And we enter back into the neutral game.
Roniki. Oh, wow. It sort of looked like he got a lot more on than he actually did. Chaussette going to require Farah to come in and take over.
Pass up.
Ooh, right over to Cassio. Needs to be either off the backboard or into the middle. Not into the vision of one of his opponents. There is a demo, and Chaussette is out for the time being. Capitalized on. 1 goal apiece. 3 minutes and 13 left.
Now, not a big fan of Fair's approach here. Went forward when he was already beat to a ball up high on the wall. If he turns around, grabs the corner boost, makes that stop easy. Just, you know, too much gotta go get him factor.
PSG was searching for that second goal. Glass on grass are just giving up these kickoffs at this point. They are fully committed to boost when they were so happy to challenge earlier on in the series.
It's all about that drawback method, man.
Chaussette off the backboard. Farah does not want any of that. I think Roniki played that as if Farah was coming in. End-to-end gameplay. Both these teams just not wanting ball in their side of the field. Chaussette might have just opened up an opportunity. Cassio brings 2 players up, and now Roniki, he'll be looking to try and take this one. Thankfully, the ball was slow enough to allow PSG to get back into position, but still, the boost has not been replaced just yet.
Kind of surprised Roniki and Cassio weren't able to pressure that one a little bit more. Fair and Chaussette tripping all over each other right now.
Chaussette wanted to go downfield. He gets it past Roniki and almost gets it all the way past Cassio as well. But a very slow and measured approach from both teams.
Game 5 tension. Gets to everybody at one point or another.
There's a lot more to try and fight for in the previous one. PSG, they were trying to finish it off whilst Glass on Grass trying to fight for their lives. Honestly, it's no surprise that one became a shootout. But now when both of these teams have got both their upper bracket lives and the opportunity to try and finish off the series.
Oh, man.
Comes a lot on your plate. It's Farah going for a bump at Roniki. Fast enough to the draw.
Oh, goodbye.
Huge demo. Cassio
gave up on it. Wise
not
choice.
In his possession. Can't get over to that one.
Good recognition, though. They're back on offense still.
Absolutely. You do not want to be giving this up off a poor decision.
Okay. Wasn't sure about that touch at first.
Oh,
but
Chaussette, he's unchallenged for a while. So long, in fact, that Roniki was able to challenge, turn around, and get himself back into defense. But this touch from Roniki needs to be very good because it could be set up for Chaussette. He goes for it off the backboard. Farah turns
Roniki went
around,
for boost.
goes for the shot. There is a save from Cassio. Was not strong enough.
Man, Roniki, caution to the winds, dove for boost, and a massive stop from Cassio to keep this one tied. Final 50 coming up.
Massive stops, massive plays required. Cassio, he's gonna hit, he's gonna chase,
Oh,
he's hit the target!
Farah was so close. I thought he was gonna make the save, but he came up empty up in front of the net, and Cassio drills the double tap, advantage position, and what a go-ahead goal for Glass on Grass.
46 seconds away from this week's 13th seed, taking it away from PSG eSports. Off the backboard, Cassio just want to maintain possession on the orange side of the field. Good challenge win. Farah,
what a shot!
Oh.
Let's go. Come on, overtime. Yes. I love it. A nice soft tap from Chaussette. Didn't even really get too much on it, but either way, got the defender to dive at it, stalemated it, and said, Farah, look, you've been finding the back of the net all series long. Do it one more time, baby.
This to make it through to Thursday. There is still no assurances for either of these teams. But your life is so much easier if you get to avoid tomorrow entirely.
Oh, no!
Farah with it, but he's just put it too high over to Chaussette. Doesn't want to take the risk.
No boost, they gotta leave.
Both teams backing off. Will be Ronaki. He wants one more shot at this. Can't read that one though. Well played from Chaussette, just lofts it way too high. Challenge win. Farah's got to take it away. Chaussette tries to turn and chase, but he can't get there in time. Overtime will be played.
Let's see how it goes.
The cheated kickoff coming in again. Class on grass. They do not deviate from their strategy.
Pass
Keeping
across.
someone back for the boost. Huge here. Chaussette by himself against Cassio.
Oh,
Cassio
no,
with the
you're
follow!
kidding! You're kidding! The coin! How does it know? What a goal from Cassio. Chaussette doesn't quite get the read on the corner. And Cassio puts him down in 14 seconds.
Class on grass. Through to Thursday in the upper bracket. PSG eSports join the blender.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? What else can we say? Class on Grass sent PSG Esports down to the lower bracket. Game 5 after game 5 after game 5 after game 5. My hand hurts because I was hitting the desk again.
It's been a good day.
PSG. The next victim to fall down to the lower bracket.
What can you say, man?
In overtime.
They stuck to their guns the entire series long. It started working there at the end, but, you know, what it comes down to, the reason Class on Grass win this series, Shogun, it was literally just every mistake PSG made, they were able to capitalize on it. And that's the mark of a great Rocket League team, you know? You got to be able to capitalize on your opposition's mistakes. You're not going to get too many opportunities like them, and whenever they make them, you got to convert them.
Yeah,
if there's one thing they did well, it was that.
Did so well. This just became such an offensive series. It just got faster and faster and faster as we went through. The first game, I don't remember it because it just seems so grey compared to what happened in games 4 and 5.
It seemed like such a long time ago as well. You know what I mean? That first game in that series, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that first game's done. PSG won, and we were expecting things to kind of roll that way. But Class on Grass, they did not budge. They managed to take this series, and some good news. We've done it. We broke the record. We knew we were breaking the record. 124 goals
There we go.
scored in one evening's worth of Rocket League in 4 series. That translates to 1,240 meals donated by Soylent over to the World Food Program USA. Thank you again for Soylent being involved in such a fantastic cause and being a great partner of the Universal Open Season 2. Of course, if you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open and get involved with what is a fantastic and very worthwhile cause. 1,240 meals. I mean, that's not bad going, gentlemen.
That's a good day.
That's a good day. And one thing we should also highlight is the fact that for every single series today, not only was it a Game 5, we had a Dual Force achievement unlock in every single series. So 7 goals, 11 saves from at least one player in the series. That shows the level of Rocket League that has been coming at your screens, into your faces today. And it has been an absolutely incredible evening, gentlemen. I mean, we've got a few more things to get through, and one of them is, of course, the State Farm assist of the day.
The 124 of them. I don't know.
I'm going to pick the 123rd.
Nothing that particularly pops out to you?
If you can pick the series, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to pick a series.
How about you try and pick a series on set? See?
It's a good point.
See?
It's a very good point. Let's go with...
there was a lot of infield passes.
Let's go with the one that we're about to find out now. So let's have a look and see if we have our State Farm assist of the day ready, because I have absolutely no idea who it's going to be. Let's have a look. Let's see who it is.
Series 1. Dignacats and
But that
Bill
was today?
Gates. Yeah, I know, right? What happened here?
Alright.
Okay. That's fair.
There we go.
It's a good little double tap. You cover a couple of options. You get in front of the clear angle, and you also get the chance for the pass off the back wall. So, Turbo, well played. Fair enough.
And both these teams are in the lower bracket.
That's amazing.
Yes,
isn't it?
both of these teams
those
in the lower
teams are
bracket.
somehow in the lower bracket. But congratulations to Turbo Pulsar for winning the State Farm assist of the day.
Dignacats. We don't know. Are they in the lower bracket? That was Dignacats, not Dignitas.
We'll find out in a second.
We'll find out. We'll give you a brisk bracket update. Let's have a look right now and see how everything looks after today's insane
Your boys got memory.
They totally
day.
are. Okay.
And yeah, they are both down there, both Dignicats and Dignitas. They are in the, I mean, just look at that lower bracket right now. If you have made it through to the right-hand side of that bracket today, take a well-earned rest tomorrow and enjoy the Rocket League, because you deserve everything as a day off can bring your way. No Names, Class on Grass, Complexity, and Girls all making it through. But I mean, just look at those Game 5s today. Dignitas, No Names, Game 5. Class on Grass, PSG, Game 5. Complexity, Fnatic, Game 5. A boring old 3-1 Girls, Dignicats. And then we look, I mean, just the left-hand side of that lower bracket there. Every single game, a Game 5. But tomorrow,
10 Game 5s.
It's all about the Shark Scorpion Blender Pit, whatever we're calling it. I don't know what it is. Like the dinosaur lair. I don't know. The TNT cartoon thing. I don't know. It's a mess down there, basically, is what we're trying to say. It's the mosh pit.
All of those teams on the right-hand side are going to be watching tomorrow like Shao Kahn on the throne. Just waiting as the final boss.
Sitting there going, finish him for every single Game 5 that we're about to see. But they are the games that we will be seeing tomorrow. I mean, gentlemen, final thoughts on today, because it has been a crazy day.
Let's
pray for our voices.
I think that's fair, isn't it?
I had fun.
I think we all had fun today, and we hope you had fun as well. Remember to use the hashtag UOS2 as well. Let us know your thoughts on what has been an incredible day of action today, and don't forget to follow us over at Universal Open as well to keep interested in everything that's going on. All of the finals information, it's all going to be there, so make sure that you follow over at Universal Open. But that is going to do it for today. There's only 3 words that summed up today, and that was, it's Game 5, baby. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.